To discuss the ongoing border crisis, Tom Homan, Fox News contributor and retired acting ICE director. Tom, good morning. It's good to see you. 70,000 people all at once is a lot, even for how big this border crisis has gotten or how bad it's gotten. Why now? Why are all these people, could they be coming to the border all at once right now?
Well, this is a typical time of year where you see mass migration because of growing season in the U.S. So a lot of them get jobs on big produce farms. But look, this 70,000, they'll split up and go to different parts of the border, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. So far, we're on track this year to break last year's numbers, and last year's numbers were at a historic high. The highest illegal immigration numbers we've ever seen in the history of the station, and we're on par to beat that this year because the Biden administration has proven there's no consequence or no deterrence. They released over 600,000 people into the United States last year. Many of them with notice to appears, which says, show up at an ICE office when you get a chance if you want to. And over half of them didn't. So they know there's no consequence, no deterrence. They'll be released in the United States. They can get a job illegally because Secretary Mayorkas has ordered ICE not to do worksite enforcement operations. And also he's declared being in the country illegally by itself is not enough for ICE to make an arrest. So if you know you come here illegally and ICE isn't looking for you, you can get order removed, but ICE isn't looking for you. You can get a job illegally and ICE is not going to go to the worksite to find you. Why wouldn't you come?
Yeah, and then you have to wonder, can Border Patrol handle processing 70,000 people all at once?
Well, that's a problem that's happened last year. Border Patrol can get overwhelmed. They're going to pull the agents off the line into processing centers, which leaves the border unguarded. It's not a coincidence last year with historic illegal immigration that we saw historic overdose deaths of fentanyl. DEA says 95% of that fentanyl comes across the southwest border. What insults me as somebody that worked for the Trump administration is that we had the most secure border in this nation's history. Illegal immigration was down to a 40-year low. And Joe Biden came into office and purposely opened the border up and unsecured it. And that's why we have the fentanyl epidemic. That's why we have COVID coming across the border. You got criminals coming across the border. It's just what the Biden administration has done is just ridiculous.
Yeah, and Tom, you look at the poll numbers, and the Biden administration, President Biden polls really low when it comes to the border issue because people realize that having an open southern border makes the country less safe. If he's not polling well on this issue consistently, you just have to wonder why he hasn't reversed course.
Because he sold to the progressive left. I mean, when he was a senator, he voted for border barriers. And look, I'll say it again, regardless of what people think of President Trump, he secured our border at a level that's never been secure before. And Joe Biden came in and unsecured it in a matter of months. Why would any president do that, knowing that if you unsecure the border, it's going to cause a mass migration, it's going to cause a humanitarian crisis where people die, it's going to cause the criminal cartels to smuggle more drugs across a border when Border Patrol's tied up in processing centers? Yeah. Who would do that? But they did it. And that's why we're dealing with this is open borders.
Tom, I know that this is something that's concerning to you. It's definitely something to watch. The fact that the Biden administration there's a lot of pressure on them to repeal Title 42. So if you think the border issue is bad now, just wait until that happens. Got to leave it here. Tom, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Tom.